Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. I love my Healthy Americans. You are emailing me, you're texting me. Some of you actually have my phone number. And I want to share with you a text that I got from a Healthy American who actually assisted me in research in the early days related to Title VII guarantees for those of you that were being discriminated against at your job, and also for public accommodations when you were being discriminated against for going into a grocery store just trying to breathe oxygen. So this is a very special Healthy American, and I want to read to you this text that came in. And my friend here is just distraught hearing about infants that are becoming human pincushions. And I want to share with you the information that I responded with, and hopefully this will be helpful for you as well. You're probably like me, and it just breaks your heart when you think about the innocent babies and children that are being subjected to these medical interventions, and they don't even have a say in it. And it might be that their parents are well-meaning and they just don't have the information, or maybe they have fallen for the bamboozle. So let me share with you this important website that you could use with friends or family members, people that you know, maybe young moms or expectant moms. And this is the exact right time to give them that information as they are considering how they are going to be treating their baby and the pressures that they get from the medical mainstream merry-go-round. So stick with me. I want to talk about the non-medical merry-go-round, mainstream merry-go-round, and I've got a message for you from a holistic MD, and this is Dr. Amy Lee. And we are told, actually, let me share my screen because this is the sponsor of the video, and I'm grateful for the sponsors of the show. That's how I'm able to bring you this information for free. And I can also pay off my legal bills for suing these public servants. So it is 3harmfulfoods.com/Peggy is where you want to go. We're told that we live in the most advanced era in human history. There have never been more medical breakthroughs than there are right now, but there are millions more Americans that are unhealthy and overweight than there have ever been. So according to U.S. board certified nutritionist and physician, Dr. Amy Lee, one of the main reasons is 3 harmful foods that are being passed off as health foods. And that's all over the country. So these foods can cause weight gain. They can clog your arteries. Clog your digestive tract, deplete your energy, and wreck your skin. And they're basically banned in other countries. Shockingly, these foods are still legal in the US, and it's time that someone shined a light on what they are. So that's what Dr. Amy Lee does. So you can watch this video for free. She explains how the side effects of these foods are wreaking havoc on the health of millions of Americans. But the good news is it's easy to stop and reverse this damage by simply learning which foods to avoid and how to spot them so that you can experience easier weight loss, smoother digestion, and vibrant energy. Find out what these 3 fake foods are when you go to 3harmfulfoods.com/Peggy, and I will have a link for you in the description box below. Again, watch this free video to find out all you need to know to regain control over your body. 3harmfulfoods.com/Peggy. Friends, on this channel, I like to give you solutions and strategies, resources and remedies to help you stand up for your rights. I've been fighting for your rights since day one, since all of this hogwash was sloshed all over us. And I'm so grateful to say that more and more people are waking up to the truth. They are seeing the deception, and they want to know how they can give no consent to these medical interventions that they don't want to participate in. So let me read to you this text that came in from a valued Healthy American. And he writes, Peggy, this makes my blood boil when parents at my CrossFit gym are talking about their newborn infants, 4 months old, and others, and they are getting several shots, and then how their babies are wailing in discomfort. And it's heartbreaking to me. I see that as child abuse. He writes, they talk about the screaming babies as they're getting these injections. And he says, I don't know what to say. So I stay quiet. It hurts my soul. Should I speak up? Should I say something to these parents? I'm not, no man-made poison can compete with the superpower of our God-given immunity. And then he goes on to say, and particularly in breast milk. I am even crying as I'm texting you this. And it hits very close to home for me. So first of all, I'm so grateful for all of my compassionate, healthy Americans who care about the truth, who care about fellow man. And we certainly are not going to help them be healthier by restricting our own breathing and becoming human pincushions ourselves. So what I suggested was, perhaps, if this makes sense for my friend or maybe one of you, is to print out little note cards that you could give to someone, and it would have a link to this website that I'm about to share with you. There's all sorts of detailed information about these shots, and it's a very kind of neutral presentation. So it doesn't scream, like anti-cocktail or anything like that. So people that might feel like, oh, you're just, anti-science, that won't jump out at them on this website. So I find that it's a very amenable way for people to get information. And it is heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken when I hear parents talking about these, injection plans for their children. It really upsets me. And I've done videos which are no longer on this channel, but they're over at peggyhall.tv, which is my private channel. And I've got videos called Shots for Tots and Needles for Newborns. And I talk about, hepatitis shot and others, like why are babies getting this shot when you get hepatitis through promiscuity and dirty needles? And I don't think a newborn infant is exposed to any of that. And they'll say, well, it's the mother. The mother could have that. Well, the mother could be tested prior to that. And anyway, they will get you in the spin cycle and prey on your fears, tell you that you're a bad parent, maybe even threaten you with taking your children away. I don't think there's a legal way to do that, but they being the mainstream medical merry-go-round, will use pressure and coercion and threats and intimidation and the white coat syndrome that they know better than you do. So that's why it's important to have this very unemotional information, which I'm going to share with you in just a moment at this website, which is called physiciansforinformedconsent.org. But I started to say, parents of human babies, and then of course even pet parents that are getting their dogs and cats injected, that also breaks my heart. And I've heard from many, 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 many healthy Americans that have told me of the horrific side effects. And there are other veterinarians that, how could I put it on this channel delicately, open-minded about this. And we are collecting names of veterinarians. So you can email my assistant, support@thehealthyamerican.org. I will have this linked on my Substack. It's like a free resource. It's called peggyhall.substack.com. It's a written type of website, blog, newsletter, if you will. And I've got my written analysis of the videos that I do. So be sure that you sign up there for free, peggyhall.substack.com. And let me do this. I want to take you on over to this website, Physicians for Informed Consent. Interestingly, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos for you coming up in several days about what many people get wrong about informed consent. And then I want to share with you what a group is doing about informed consent. So stay tuned for upcoming videos. And I want to dive into that topic a little more. But my concept is, rather than confront a parent by saying, how could you do that? How dare you? Can't you see that the child is going to be harmed? Like, that's not going to go very far either, because it will be emotional. And it's hard to confront other people, especially when they're parents. So having a little card or a little printout that you could hand them to say, hey, I overheard you talking about your baby, and here's some information that you might find helpful. That's it. It's not up to you to change anyone's mind in that moment, but you can plant a seed and you can direct them to more information. And here's where I would direct them. So let me cue this up for you. This is physiciansforinformedconsent.org. I actually support this organization. I am a member, and you go right here, Physicians for Informed Consent, and you click on education. This is what I find is so important. Now, again, if you go here and imagine you've given a little flyer, a little handout to a parent who may think, here's an shot person, anti-cocktail, but they come to this website and they're like, oh, physicians. Okay, I can trust physicians. Oh, informed consent, research, considering a cocktail and want to learn more. So I value the fact that this website has intentionally presented itself with an open, welcoming position for parents and people that actually want to learn more. So you can click on education and look at all of this information that comes up. So it talks about some of the ingredients, it talks about the cooties, it talks about all of these childhood vaccines. And let's just click on the MMR, for example, because that's one that is always being pushed. And it's got information that you can click on. And what I like about this is, even though I always talk about the law and not about the science and the medicine, I leave that for others that are more knowledgeable in that area. So let me increase the size here, and you'll see that there are, oops, am I increasing the size? Let's do that. There are references to different studies. There is data, there are statistics, and this may meet the needs of some of the parents that want this kind of information with all sorts of references as well. So this is what I recommended to my friend who texted me in an emotional state saying, I just am beside myself. I hate to hear this, but what can I do? This is what you can do. This is just one website. And I recommend, or what I would like is for you to recommend other websites. There's also Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and I know not everybody follows or agrees with what she has to say, but that is somebody just off the top of my mind that you could send someone to that has very balanced information. Again, she's an MD, so people could benefit from hearing what she has to say. I do believe some of her information might be behind a paywall, and it might be that her name is associated with the anti-cocktail group, which is why Physicians for Informed Consent, I think, is a good jumping off point. The bigger picture is for those of you that want to help others learn like you have. I have found it helpful that if you provide other websites that they could check out on their own and not to be sort of pressured or strong-armed by you with all of your enthusiasm toward getting them the truth. I know from my own personal experience, sometimes that has had a boomerang effect where people didn't want to hear at all. Some people want to learn on their own. Let me know in a comment what other approaches you have that have been successful or that you would recommend for talking to parents or expectant moms about these protocols. I'll just put it that way. My goal and my hope and my prayer is that more and more new parents are going to be learning this information. They're going to be digging deeper. And I have seen a wave that is moving in that direction. I do believe that we're moving in the right direction. I can say that from personal clients that I've had with their anecdotes of they are not even having their children born in a hospital, and they are not going along with any of those other protocols that the mainstream medical merry-go-round is pushing. So I find that very encouraging. And the more children that we have growing up healthy and not with these products introduced into their body, I think that they'll be able to discern more, to think more clearly, and to not have any of the damage that can be associated with this. So that's what I've got for you today, friends. Let me know in a comment below what you could add to this take action list, where in a cordial, encouraging, life-affirming way, we can get this information into the hands of those who need it the most right now. And I would say those are the parents. All right. Thanks for being on board, everybody. I appreciate our moderators. I appreciate you for being a healthy American and being on this journey with me as we march it all the way to heaven.